So Nicki Minaj said that she was gonna put the pussy on my sideburns, but I don't even have sideburns, so do I need to grow some in order to get some of that pussy? Oh shit, I didn't see you there, dog. Hey cameraman, cue the music. Hey, since you looking, nigga, hey, follow me, man. Hey, look, NW in here. Look, it was a lot of good games that came out in 2013, but it was a lot of shit ones, too. And this is my personal top 10 worst games of 2013. And don't think for a second that I think this list represents a gaming industry as a whole. This is just my personal list, so don't rage if you don't agree with something, okay? And I really hope you guys enjoy this bullshit. But if you excuse me, I'm gonna hide in these bushes, because slave master looking for a runaway slave. Treat people the way that you want to be treated. Except for in Call of Duty, you can talk shit, that's cool. I needed to be the black ash ketchup. It was my destiny to be the Negro ketchup. But let's talk about why all white people look like spoiled milk when they take their clothes off. ModernWarNegro. Step 1, get money. Step 2, repeat step 1. Number 10. Battlefield 4. Now before you hit that dislike button, Battlefield fanboy, please hear me out. Battlefield 4 upon initial release was a complete piece of shit, and that applies to all versions of the game. We dealt with constant lag, rubber banding, being kicked from servers, and so much more. The game was so bad that it earned the nickname Battlefield 4 from the community due to the fact that it felt like the game was still in beta. EA talks all this shit about Call of Duty, but at least that game works. Battlefield 4 was rushed out the gate during the holidays to compete with Call of Duty, but it needed another 6 to 9 months of development. It's unacceptable to release a $60 broken game, and it's also unacceptable that people are defending this crap. You guys remember in the 90s and the early 2000s when you bought a game and it worked? You new generation of gamers need to grow a backbone and call EA out on their bullshit by being active in the forums, YouTube, and other outlets. They're still ironing out bugs months later. It's a bug right now that says I had to download the China Rising DLC just to play the maps that came with the game. Funny thing is, I own that DLC and still can't play the default maps. And this is the reason why EA is close to winning Worst Company of the Year 3rd year in a row. That being said, Battlefield is still a fun game at its core, and I'd still pick it over Call of Duty, and the game has become more stable as DICE is working hard to fix the game with constant updates, and that's why I'm only gonna give it the 10th spot. Number 9.
We don't care about your disappointment, Master. Do you care now? Next time, bring better animals.
Or a better game. The last two Sonic games, Sonic Generations and Sonic Colors, were actually really good games if you were unaware, so one would think that Sega is back on the right track, right? But I only played 2 hours of Lost World and I wanted a refund. I said, what in the hell is this shit? I mean, the first time that I played this game was live on Twitch and I was getting a fucking headache with all that flippity doo-dah going on the damn screen. This is the slowest Sonic game ever made. It's more of a platformer, so it lacks that adrenaline rush Sonic gameplay that we know and love. And Sega, please explain to me who came up with the bright idea to make Sonic only run fast by holding down the trigger button. Sonic doesn't just run fast by going forward like all the other past games. You have to hold a button. If that ain't the most counterproductive idea that I've seen, then shit. Lost World's biggest problem though is it suffers from an identity crisis. It looked like they put Sonic in the Mario Galaxy universe. I mean, Sonic Runs from the Cops would have been a better game idea to me. Number 8.
Take the immune down to the lab. The 2 others will come with me.
Lab?
Hey, do we look like goddamn guinea pigs
I'm
to
a
you?
citizen of the USA, man. I got motherfucking rights.
That terrible dialogue sums up Dead Island Riptide. If I could play Diggy's song copy paste without getting a copyright strike from YouTube, then I would. That song sums up how I feel about Riptide. I think one of the reasons why games like Call of Duty get away with copying and pasting is because the social aspect of playing online with friends gives the illusion that it's fresh and new the first month or so before the Call of Duty cycle repeats. For a single player game, it's just you and the game, and it won't take but seconds for you to notice that this is the same bullshit as last time. The first Dead Island was cool and it showed so much potential, but it was held back by tons of bugs and glitches. Fast forward 19 months to Dead Island 2, and it's the same exact gameplay, and the same exact bugs and glitches. It was cute the first time, but the second time around, it's inexcusable. And what's worse is, I had people in my comment section of my review defending this game. You paid $60 for the same game with even more glitches. Everyone is excited for that game Dying Light, but not me. You know why? Because it's made by the same people who made Dead Island. And I mean, I'm not saying that they can't do better, but there's a reason why resumes exist, and there's a reason why resumes play a heavy role in whether or not people take you seriously. Number 7.
Unite hand!
The Wonderful 101. Wasn't this a controversial pick? Some people love this game, and some people hated it. I'm in the hate camp. Now, Wonderful 101 has great style and high production, but the controls are so garbage to me. The game was your standard beat 'em up with a gimmick. The gimmick being that in order to summon new weapons and attacks, you had to draw different shapes that corresponded with those weapons and attacks. Problem is, when you're fighting, it's a pain in the ass to have to look down and draw a shape. Sure, you can draw without looking down, but you can't draw a triangle. You have to draw a perfect triangle, a perfect straight line, a perfect circle. Throw in the fact that the Wii U's touchscreen isn't the most responsive in the world, and there you have frustration just waiting to happen. This game is for patient people, and I'm not a doctor, so I don't have patience. Number 6.
The arcane energies of your chest orb can interact only with the hyperdense material of the relics.
The doctor says. Well, I say let's give it a try. What's to lose?
See? Nothing happens.
Knack. Jab, jab, hook. Jab, jab, hook is what sums up the generic beat 'em up knack. Knack will have you suffering through 10 hours of doing the same 3 punches. The game doesn't know if it wants to be a platformer or a Streets of Rage corridor beat 'em up, and the story is retarded. You play as some ass bead summoned by a cone-headed white person to fight an army of Shreks. And why does Knack sound like a prison booty bandit?
Stay back.
The game is also incredibly hard, even on normal, which I don't mind. It's just that this game is marketed towards children, and I have a hard time believing that any child can complete this title, whether it be for the difficulty or because how quickly it'll put you to sleep. Number 5. The Fighter Within. Fighter Within is a launch title for the Xbox One that utilizes the Kinect 2.0. Now, look, I don't give a fly book about no damn Kinect games, okay? But I figure since every Xbox One come with that NSA spy cam, I might as well test it out once, right? Now what I found is, Microsoft once again proves they're full of shit. Kinect 2.0 was supposed to be so much better than the Kinect, right? But it's the same shit. The game doesn't even register 3/4 of your punches, so you look just as retarded as playing the original Wii Sports boxing. You throwing 1,000,001 punches like Garlic Jr., but only one of them will be picked up by the camera. And this is an all lighting situation. The game is buggy as hell. And why does it want me to control the menu with my hand? I ain't trying to do all that shit. Come on, do something.
Switch kick.
The fuck?
Switch kick.
Vogue. I think she's Chinese. Come on. Power up. Come on, power up. How do I do that? There we go. Yeah. I'm raising my key. Ooh. Punk. You fucking pussy. Oh my God. No. Duh! How do I do this? The fuck is... Man, fuck this. Where the controller at? This is bullshit. I can't use the controller? Hit him with the Chief Keef. Nah. Feel my power level? KO kitten. What the fuck did I do? This gonna get my fat ass back in shape. Let's go. And what makes it worse is this game is a 10 gigabyte install, which took like 20 to 30 minutes. So I waited 30 minutes to play a game that works as well as the stop and frisk laws in New York City. Number 4.
I love video games, but more and more people are moving away from the television. There's a lot of focus today on the mobile and web platform. It's easier to develop games for those platforms than the television. It costs a lot of money, you have to work with established players in the space, and I've been trying to figure out how do we get them back to it.
The Ouya. Ouya, Ouya, Ouya. You know your product sucks when I can't even single out a single game on the platform for being trash, well, because you don't have any games. I mean, the whole console itself is ass. Funded by Kickstarter, this tiny device was touted as a safe haven for indie developers, a place where anybody could go to make a game and sell it. But instead, what we got was a plastic Chinese food container that contained no online infrastructure like Xbox Live, PSN, or Steam, no noteworthy exclusives or third-party titles, and a year later, there are still none. And what breaks my heart is there were comments on my Ouya review from people defending it, saying, "You don't know how to use the Ouya." Look, it's time for a reality check. You people that left those comments, listen, and listen well. You're a hipster loser doing anything that you can to be different. The Ouya sucks. They have a game where you can simulate rainstorms for shit's sakes. Name your top 10 Ouya games. Oh wait, you can't. The Ouya sucks so much that when I went to look for it so I could record footage for this video, guess where I found it? In my dirty clothes basket. If you truly love indie games like you say you do, then you would join the PC master race where indie devs are prospering on Steam. DayZ already sold 1 million copies in its first 3 weeks and it's still an alpha. But you hipster fags think the Ouya is where the indie games thrive? Number 3. The Walking Dead Survival Instinct. Walking Dead Survival Instinct is honestly the worst game that I played all year, but I decided to put it at the 3 spot for reasons that you'll find out later in this video. I literally played 1 hour and said, never again. It's so generic and pointless, and the sound cut out in the game like every 5 minutes. I don't think I've ever seen that level of fuckery in a game before, but what's also fucked up is, this game was released almost immediately after Telltale's Walking Dead won Game of the Year. They thought they were slick by releasing this title at the time to confuse the more casual gamer into buying their version of Walking Dead. That's shady business practice, and I'm sure a lot of people were upset that they received this game. Now I wish I could tell you more about this game, but like I said, I only played an hour and I couldn't go any further. So, fuck Walking Dead Survival Instinct. Number 2. TMNT Out of the Shadows. Oh, I bet you thought this would be number 1. I mean, it's pretty well documented the struggles the Illuminati has had with Ninja Turtles. We've talked about this numerous times on the podcast, and I even made a video trying to light a fire under Activision's ass to fix the game, but nothing happened. Tick, JG, and I weren't expecting this game to be great. We went into it knowing that it was going to be a generic beat 'em up, but with friends we knew we could make it fun, and we had planned on doing a Turtles Let's Play. Problem is, the PC version of the game's online is completely broken. You can't invite friends to a private party, you can't join friends' private parties, you can't do shit with your friends, and the only reason to play a Turtles game is to play with your friends. There goes $15 down the drain, and we were mad. But to add insult to injury, the following events happened. I made that video telling Activision to release a patch and fix the game, and in the video's title, I put Activision's Twitter handle, so whenever anybody liked the video, it would show up in Activision's mentions, and they would hopefully view it. It didn't take but an hour for Activision to contact me via Twitter, where we had an exchange of words. I spazzed on them, and I let them know it's unacceptable to charge people for a game that doesn't work. Eventually they said that, "We are aware of the issue and that a patch was in the works to be released." I asked, well, what's the time frame for this patch that's coming out? And they said they didn't know, but they did know that a patch was coming. So I said, cool. So me and the homies waited and waited and waited. Days passed, weeks passed, and now 4.5 months later to the date of this video, there is still no patch. I paid my hard-earned money for a broken game. So Activision doesn't just get the number 2 spot because the game sucks, but also because they're fucking liars. Number 1. Avery Media, the whole damn company. You guys remember that review that I did early in the year on the Gamer Live portable capture card by Avery Media? Well, some drama went on behind the scenes, and it's time to expose a fraudulent ass company. Avery Media contacted me in early 2013 to make me aware of their new capture card. They offered me a free one with my name engraved on it, and in exchange, I will review the capture card and make my audience aware of it. They sent the contract over via email, I read over it, and the first thing that I always check for on a contract is, does the company allow me freedom of speech? Because some companies won't, they just want you to give a positive review, but they did, so I agreed to review their product. It comes in the mail, and I started recording footage with it to work on my review. But after the first time that I used their capture card, it never worked again, and the footage that I did record was really bad looking. I released my review, and I didn't recommend buying it. I was totally respectful, and I actually gave suggestions on how they could improve it. But they chose to accuse me of editing the footage. But after a long conversation, a little bit of charm, I convinced them that the device was faulty. So they agreed to send me another review and I would make an update video explaining that I had received a faulty device. The second capture card comes in the mail, and this one doesn't even work out the box. I emailed them again, and they had the nerve to question my intelligence, asking me if I was using it right, because them releasing a shit-ass product was just out of the question in their minds. Meanwhile, my Elgato, the capture card that I normally use, was working perfectly fine. This leads me to believe that a lot of the devices were faulty and they were in denial. So I snooped around their forums and I found numerous people complaining they were receiving broken devices as well. I tried to make them aware of this, but they continued to question my intelligence and my ability to use their stank-ass capture card. I guess they were shocked that I created a professional review, which I don't know why, because the contract said make a review. They probably expected me just to do an unboxing like all the other fake reviews that you'll find on YouTube by these Call of Duty commentators. They'd just be excited to get some free shit. But I'm a grown-ass man, okay? I don't get excited by that. They even had the nerve to contact my network manager complaining, saying that I altered the footage, which, by the way, they didn't give a fuck. They actually laughed because you faggots were so salty that I was exposing you. So after I suggested that they read the forums and see that a lot of people were complaining that they got broken devices, they told me that that was just a vocal minority. Oh, but it gets better. Turns out that my review was one of the highest viewed ones on that capture card. So on YouTube, when you search it, it's at the top of the page. So they had their little faggot ass employees make fake accounts on YouTube and leave numerous comments trying to discredit my name and my brand. Oh, and how do I know they made dummy accounts being ran by Avery Media? I checked the page and they had no videos uploaded, and their feed showed that they only left likes on positive reviews for that capture card and they left negative comments for the bad one. These people are so stupid that even my viewers knew the accounts were fake, and they deleted the comments that they left on my video once people caught on to cover their ass. Fast forward a few months later, and they're gearing up to release their new capture card HD2. So I guess I was right. Their last one was faulty because they're putting out a new one only a few months later. But yeah, you know, the PR people, they contacted me once again asking me if I wanted to review the new capture card HD2. I was surprised. I was like, wow, they fuck with me? So I was like, all right, well, maybe they do like an honest opinion. So after waiting 2 weeks for my review unit, I shot out another email asking where it was at. These coons had the nerve to tell me, oh, I was told by my higher-ups not to send you a review unit, which is more proof that they don't want honest reviews, they just want free promo. So boycott their bullshit-ass products, and this is an open letter to any company who's considering doing business with me. Understand this, I built my name by being honest with people. I know what it's like to have a bank account with low funds. And I may have money now, but I didn't forget the value of $1. People is out here struggling for real. And I'm not recommending anything that I don't personally believe in. I will always be respectful when discussing your products, but if anybody comes at me how Avery Media did again, just know motherfuckers is getting exposed.